Hello there and welcome to Des Illustrates. Today we are gonna paint this butterfly. I painted this butterfly in real time for my Patreons. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check out my Patreon. It's available for all $5 tiers and up. Right now in the painting you can see me paint the first light wash of the wings. The wing contains out of orange, yellow and brown tones, so I decided to do a light wash of orangey color as a base color to paint upon. I sketched out all the pattern of the butterflies in front. This was a bit more work, but it made the painting a lot easier. Something I forgot to mention earlier is that the drawing of the butterfly is also available on Patreon, so it's a total package to paint along, and the total package is available from the $10 tier and up. But like I mentioned, the real-time video is already on the $5 tier. You can see me put in the first wash for the complete pattern right now. The pattern is going to be darkened a lot through the painting, but I wanted to map out the complete pattern of the wings before I lost the sketch with all the layers I was gonna do. The butterfly is a fritillary species. I'm not sure how to pronounce that word, but it's a group of butterflies. I'm just not sure about the exact species yet. It was a free reference photo over on Pixabay, and the species that was mentioned in the title of the butterfly on that site, I'm pretty sure that that's not the correct species, because there were dots in the wings of that species and this butterfly doesn't have dots in the wings. For some reason, when I'm painting animals and I'm choosing reference photos over on reference sites or just in books of butterflies or other animals, I'm always attracted to animals with a really complicated pattern, which is beautiful to look at, but when you're painting, I'm always asking myself why I choose the ones with the most complicated pattern, because it makes the painting that more tedious to do. Right now I'm putting in the most orange patches of the butterfly. The butterfly has different sections of the wings that are more yellowish, a bit more like a ochre tone, and the others are more on the orange side, and also a bit of change through the patches in how dark they are. So I try to involve these color changes in the painting too. The body of the butterfly was also a lot of tones. It was also really shiny, and it was hard to capture that shine because it was going from yellow and gold tones to blue and even some green shiny patches in the fur. So I don't think I captured that fully in the end result of the painting. I could have chose to add some shiny paints, some fine deck paints in the painting, but I didn't want to do that for this one. I just wanted to use watercolors and nothing else. But in the end, I'm pretty happy with how this painting turned out. It had a lot of little details, and I'm just happy with how it turned out. you can see me starting to darken up this pattern I was talking about. The dark pattern on the wings also was really reflective. There were purples and blues in the reflection of the wings and of the, I don't know how they call it, but all the little particles on the wings, almost like tiny little feathers on the wings. But I chose to not incorporate that too much because I wanted it to be a flat scientific illustration vibe, and the picture that showed all the shine was in the full sun with the butterfly a bit more on the right side, that the wing was a bit in a different position. There were a lot of little details in all the wings and on the little hairs on the wings, and also in the body and all the little hairs that were sticking out of the body and covering the first part of the wing. And I at first had a bit of trouble with getting this soft hairy texture on the wings, especially around the body and the lower part I was working on just now. But in the end, I think the painting is in balance, and if I had put more details in those parts, then I also should have put more details in the other parts. I also had a bit of trouble with the brown outline on the left wing on the upper side. I kept going over the line, and you can't really see it in this angle, but I covered a little mistake up with some white ink because I shook the brush because my hands were shaking too much, and there was a brown splatter on the white paper just above the tip of the left wing. So that was a bit unfortunate. However, I plan on scanning this and using it as a print and a sticker, and not really selling the original since it's in my sketchbook and it's not on the most fancy paper. I would really like to try out some more fancy paper like arches paper, for example. I really hear good things about that paper, and it's also more forgiving to paint on cotton paper in general than on this cellulose paper. But yeah, that's not really in the budget right now, and I must say that even if the paper is a lesser quality, I'm really enjoying painting in this Strathmore sketchbook that I'm using right now. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier in the video, but as always I'm using my Van Gogh watercolor palette, and I'm mostly using the same colors. One red, bit of a cool red, a warm yellow, and the ochre, yellow ochre color. For the brown I'm using some I know where it's on my palette, on the right bottom corner, but it's not the sienna, but it's the sepia. I had to look it up, I totally lost the word. So yeah, it's a pretty limited palette I used for this painting. Oh, and the blue, of course, in the middle. I had some blue already mixed on my palette from a previous painting that I used for it, plus some phthalo blue to make the blue in the middle really pop. And right now I'm using some white ink from Ecoline just to put in the last few highlights. If you're still watching right now, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. I also want to thank my Patreons, Hans and Brozu. And yeah, until next time. Bye.